but welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so excited tonight. Of course, anytime that I get to share the screen with Donald Miller is always a pleasure. He's going to be talking about the 5 things your website should include in order to increase your sales. Of course, we all want to be able to increase our sales. We spend so much money, putting money and effort and time and resources into our website. It's only fair that that website has a return for us, right? Like anything in our business, we want to make sure that wherever we're investing ourselves, our energy, our time, and our money, we are getting a return on that investment. So hopefully tonight you will be able to learn a lot. I hope that you come up with some good questions that we can brainstorm at the end of the evening. It's really going to be just kind of a switch off and watch for the first little bit. And Donald comes up with he does a couple of different case studies towards the end. We're only going to watch the first one because then we're going to have a little bit of time for discussion, only that I didn't want everybody to be here until 10 o'clock at night. So we'll watch the first one and then I'll pause it and then I'll, come on in and have a bit of a discussion with you in terms of your own websites, in terms of thoughts that you have, ideas, questions that have come up. So make notes if you would like. Feel free to switch your camera off and just to chill, lay yourself down. If you'd like to just listen to him, put your AirPods on and walk around the house and pick up all the bits and pieces that you haven't got to yet, make the kids lunches, do whatever you need to do in order to be able to sit back and relax and enjoy this session with Donald Miller. So I'll just share my screen with you. And then I'm going to open it up to full screen and hope that the whole thing doesn't explode. Can you tell me if what you see is a full screen? Right.
Yep, you're good.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much. All right. Give me a thumbs up when he starts talking to make sure that you have the audio, and I will talk to you in a little bit.
Welcome, everybody. Super glad to be with you today. We're going to be talking about the 5 things your website should include to increase sales. Of course, our website for most of us is the billboard, the public-facing part of our company. You might have a retail shop, but if you don't have a retail shop, your website is as good as your retail shop. We're going to talk about the 5 things you can do. Most people are making these same 5 mistakes. The good news is that when you change these things, your business starts to grow. People start to understand better what you do. They connect their problem to your solution. They pull out their credit cards and they buy. So today is a live coaching session in which there's no question we are going to affect your bottom line. In fact, as you think about today's session, as you go through, just think about the fact that the platform that you bought was $275. This live coaching that you get every month is included in that $275. I'm curious about the return that you're going to be able to make on your investment. I would love to see a 1,000 time return on your investment just from today's session. That is, you paid $275. So the new goal is $275,000 based on something that you've learned today. And if you listen over the next 20 or 30 minutes, I'm going to talk about the 5 things, and then I'm going to review some of your websites for another 20 minutes or so. You are going to learn something that I think can give you up to 1,000 times return on that investment. And that's what you're going to be watching the webinar for. You'll be watching, okay, if I do that, would I get a big return? When I do this, would I get a bigger return? And so forth and so on. Okay, so today we're going to be focusing on the right engine. What do I mean by right engine? Well, you just heard in the introduction, we believe that a small business should be engineered like an airplane, and that there are 6 critical parts, and that you really want to run all 6 parts super well so your business flies far and fast. Of course, leadership is the cockpit. Marketing is that right engine. Left engine is sales. The products are your wings. The overhead is the body of the airplane, and your cash flow are the fuel tanks. And if you really understand how to run these 6 parts, your business is going to be safe. Today, of course, we're going to focus on the right engine. That is your marketing. And one aspect of your marketing is the website. Your website is not a digital billboard. It should be a money-making machine. Your website can and should probably make you money. So how do we do that? Well, let's talk about some things that your website needs to do, and ask yourself these questions. First, does your website actually collect leads? Is it getting you email addresses, contact information, phone numbers, those sorts of things for qualified customers who could actually buy your product? Then does your website actually also create sales? Are people pulling out their credit cards, entering it into your website and buying something? Is there a way, if your website is not doing that, that they could? And does your website actually create referral business? Do other people use your website to tell their friends about the change that they've experienced, the problem that they solved using your products? We want to improve on all three of those things. Too many businesses waste money on a website that looks good, but they are missing key elements that could increase sales. The reality is your website should grow your business. Today, we're going to review 5 things your website should include so it makes you money and actually grows your business. All right, so let's talk about fixing your website. First thing you want to do is, in this time together, is pull up your website in a separate tab. So go ahead and do that. The website that you're thinking about, the website that you want to work on, go ahead and pull it up in a separate tab on your computer, because we're going to go back and forth from the tab where you're watching me to, or, you know, maybe you've got me on a TV somewhere and you can pull up something on your computer, but go ahead and pull up your website. Second, open a note on your computer or in your notepad or a physical, remember those, a pen and a piece of paper. You could actually take notes if you remember how to do it. I'm discovering that I no longer know how to write. I don't know the D from the B when it's lowercase, and I keep messing that up, and I have to go back and pretend I'm a second grader. But if you know how to do that, that primitive, archaic version of communicating, go ahead and open a notepad or get a notepad. All right, you want to write down the specific changes you'll make as we work through this training. And remember, you're looking for that big time return on your $275 investment. With that, let's talk about the 5 things your website should include to increase sales. And the first one is the biggest one. It's a clear header. You need text at the top of your website that explains what you do. And that text should pass the grunt test. Okay, what do I mean by grunt test? Well, here's what I mean. If I were to hand a laptop to a caveman, a primitive thinking caveman, not a sophisticated thinker, nothing against cavemen, but not a sophisticated thinker, and I were to ask them 3 questions, and those 3 questions are, what do you offer? How will it make my life better? And what do I need to do to buy it? I'm going to dive deep into that here in a second. What do you offer? How will it make my life better? And what do I need to do to buy it? And then I closed that laptop lid, and so the caveman only had about, I don't know, 5 to 10 seconds to look at your website. Could the caveman answer those questions? What is it that these people offer? Mr. Caveman, how is it going to make your life better? And what would you need to do to buy it? If the caveman can answer those 3 questions, the header on your website is doing extremely well. Most of us do not pass the grunt test. It's very hard to tell what you offer. It's very hard to tell what problem you solve within 5 or 10 seconds. It's hard for me to know how you're going to make my life better. And you don't have a clear enough call to action that I would know what button to press in order to give you money. So the more confusing you are about the caveman answering those 3 questions, the less effective your website is going to be. The clearer you are about telling people what you offer, how will it make their life better, and what they need to do to buy it, the more money your website is going to make. So we don't want to be confusing. You know, the mantra around the Business Made Simple Story Brand Office is, if you confuse, you'll lose. So we're going to stop confusing people. Okay, let's take a deep dive into these 3 things that your website needs to, this first section of what your header needs to actually include. All right, first, include a clear and concise statement of what you offer. Do you sell e-bikes? Do you sell yoga training? Do you sell a great rare whiskey? Do you sell reading glasses? What do you sell? Now, a lot of times the mistake that small business owners and entrepreneurs make is they'll want to talk about some sort of elusive benefit that they offer as a company. See the world more clearly might be something that you would say on a header if you're selling, really nice, innovative glasses. But I think you'd actually make more money if you said the most innovative glasses on the market, and your subtitle is see the world more clearly. Does that make sense? Because see the world more clearly assumes that I know you sell glasses. Don't assume that I know anything. You've got to do the really basic explanation of what you offer. What that does is it decreases cognitive dissonance in the viewer's mind as they look at your website. So they're not see the world more clearly. Okay, think of the different ways the mind can go with a tagline like see the world more clearly. If you said to me, if I went to a website and said see the world more clearly, you know where my mind would automatically go? You're a news outlet. You actually have an objective view of the news, and you deliver the news to me in such a way that I can better understand what's happening in Russia and Ukraine and Eastern Europe. Do you see how far away my mind went from glasses? I went so far. So you've put me over here because I've misunderstood what you're saying. And now you have to do 10 times as much work because you have to deconstruct the news outlet thing and reconstruct the idea that these are glasses. So when I'm scrolling through your website, I would say, you know, why is a news company talking so much about glasses? I guess they're sponsored by a glasses company. All that stuff happens. And I know that sounds like, Don, are you being serious? I'm being dead serious. Yes, people get confused very, very quickly, and you never want them to get confused. If you confuse, you'll lose. So explain what you offer. Make sure that I know it is yoga classes, it is executive coaching, it is reading glasses, it is doggy daycare, it is dentistry for children, you know, whatever it is, you want to explain that super, super clearly. Make sure I know what you offer. The next, you want to explain what you offer, how what you offer will make your customer's life better, right? So that's where we get into see the world more clearly. I kind of like see the world more clearly. What I like better is, you know, it makes it easier to read and no more splitting headaches. That's better than see the world more clearly. And I know see the world more clearly sounds so poetic. It's such wonderful prose. But listen, we aren't Annie Dillard here. We're not trying to write one of those monologues from John Steinbeck. We're trying to sell glasses. If you want to be the next John Steinbeck, first of all, good luck. He had a very good editor who's dead now, so there's not a lot of hope for you. So in the meantime, let's just sell some glasses. Okay, so if we're going to sell glasses, we want to explain the benefits in extremely plain language. We want to be able to say, you're going to be able to read a lot better, a lot longer, and you're not going to get the splitting headaches. That is much better marketing copy than see the world more clearly. I know let me explain to you real quick because it's a good time to do so. The difference between, in my opinion, the difference between branding and marketing. Branding is how we make a customer feel about our products. It's the smells of the store. It's the colors that we use. It's the design of our logo. It's our elusive poetic tagline. All that kind of stuff is branding, right? Marketing is different. Marketing is explaining in clear language what we offer so that people know why they should pull out their credit card. Many small businesses make the mistake of thinking they can get by with branding when they can't. And you say, well, Don, Coca-Cola pretty much only does branding. That's because Coca-Cola has something that you don't have, and that is brand awareness. So once you achieve brand awareness and you've tasted a Coca-Cola, you know what it tastes like, you know you have one every time you go to the movies, you know, all that kind of stuff, you don't need as much marketing because the market actually understands exactly what your product offers and you can get away with branding. I would say if you are under $500 million as a company, you probably need to focus more on marketing until you surpass that amount, and then you can start thinking about branding. Even then, there are certain $500 million companies that people don't know what they offer, so they still need marketing. All small business leaders should focus more on marketing than branding. You have got to explain how what you offer will make your customer's life better in extremely plain language. Branding may be costing you money. Marketing will make you money. So let's get some good marketing. All right, and then what you want to do is you want to include a great, strong call to action. That is a very clear buy now button, schedule an appointment, add to shopping cart. Those things need to be made clear. Register for one of our classes, get a coach today. Those are strong calls to action. Instead, we're saying things like learn more, get started, or we won't even include a call to action on our website. That's a mistake. The call to action on your website is the cash register. It should be clearly stated and in a different standout color on your website, repeated in that exact same color and exact same language all the way down the landing page as I scroll down the landing page. That's your cash register. You know how cash registers are at the front of a retail store? Your cash registers have places on your website, and that's at the bottom of each section on the website and top right of the header. You want to get those cash registers in. If you go to a retail store and let's say you're picking up some clothes and you really like these clothes, you've got them draped over your arm, you're ready to buy them, and you walk to the front of the store, there's no cash register. We say, okay, well, there must be a cash register back in the department where I picked them up. I must have missed it. You go back, there's no cash register there. And then you go to the person who works there and you say, listen, I'd like to buy these clothes. Where's the cash register? Oh, sir, we're not about money here. I mean, yes, you can buy these clothes, but we're not about, we're about relationships. We're about customer service. We're about serving you. And we do not want to burden you with the transactional exchange that's all about money. We love you. You say, okay, well, that's great. I love you too. Can I buy these clothes anywhere in the store? Well, since you asked, there's a cash register in the second stall of the ladies' bathroom. We kind of hide it there. So this is ridiculous, right? This is a transactional exchange. You're not bothering anybody by telling them where the cash is. You're serving the customer by repeating that call to action down the page. When they are ready to buy, there's a call to action right there that allows them to buy. So you can see if our primitive thinking caveman can answer these three questions: what do you offer? How will it make my life better? And what do I need to do to buy it? You can already tell right now, as I say to you, as I say this to you, your sales will go up. All right. That is one of the things. There are three parts to it, but that is one of the things that you need to include in your website. Now, if you just do this, you've paid $275 for this platform. You get to see me once a month. You get all these on-demand courses, great benefits. If you just do step one of the 5 things that you should have on your website, you should see certainly a 10x, if not 100 or 1,000x return on your investment. So do the first thing. If you just want more, we even have more. But before we do that, let me show you an example of a good header. All right, this header is for a fictional company that we created. We didn't create the company, we created the branding or the marketing for it, Circuit E-Bikes. So obviously they sell e-bikes. It's very, very clear. It's called Circuit E-Bikes. So we know they sell e-bikes. What do I need to do to buy a Circuit E-Bike? You need to find a dealer, and that is printed twice there on the page. What value do I get? Well, you get to be the leader of the pack. So notice how every word on this header answers one aspect of the grunt test. And notice something else. There's no more words. That's it. The header exists to say, here's what we offer. Here's how it will make your life better. And here's the button that you need to press to buy it. There is nothing else. We are not confusing anybody about why you should get on an e-bike. Okay. Second thing that you want to do, if you want to make a bigger return on your investment than you did with step one, let's take step two. You need to talk about your customers' problems. When you talk about your customers' problems on your website, you trigger the buying journey. People only buy products and services to solve a problem. People only go to your website because they've got a problem. They only return calls from your sales team because you got a problem. The only thing people want from you is the solution to a problem. You say, Don, come on, is life really that transactional? And I don't want to go places just to solve problems. Sometimes I'm there just to be generous and charitable. Well, being there to be generous and charitable is solving the problem of you not feeling guilty about being a bad person. So you are there to solve a problem. The only reason you are actually watching this webinar is because you're trying to solve the problem of an unclear website. Therefore, if we make it really clear on our website what problems we solve, we will begin to trigger the buying journey in the mind of the customer. So let's dig a little deeper into this idea. All right, you need to talk about your customers' problems on the website. Know what problem or problems your product solve. Take each product, or at least if you've got a big retail store with a bunch of products, take the top 5 products and just write them down on the left side of a page. On the right side of the page, write down what problems they solve. Never talk about the left side without talking about the right side. Because as soon as your customers' neurons connect between their problem and your solution, that's when they begin thinking of your product as something they could buy. Not only that, but talking about your customers' problems actually increases the perceived value of the product itself. If you met 2 people at a cocktail party and they both did the same thing and offered the same service, the same price, the same value, the same quality, you asked one, what do you do? And they say, well, I'm an at-home chef. I come to your house and cook. You'd probably ask, okay, that's interesting. Where'd you go to school? And you ever cook for anybody famous? And what's your favorite meal to cook? And do you know of any good restaurants that I don't know of in town? You'd make conversation. If the second person said, Well, you know how most families don't eat together anymore, and when they do, they don't eat healthy. I'm an at-home chef. Well, now we've got something else, because this person actually started with the problem and positioned their product as the solution to that problem. And because they did that, they dramatically increased the perceived value of the product. The degree of the problem, how bad the problem is, determines the value of the product that you sell. And if you do not talk about the customer's problem, you devalue your product. I was just with a group of leaders recently, and they happen to be in the political space. And one of them said, look, we don't want to go negative. We don't want to talk about we just want to provide hope. And that's really, really good. However, if you don't actually position this political entity as the solution to a problem and talk about that problem, you will be forgotten. You will not be listened to. And hopefully they'll listen to me and do that, because it's a pretty good initiative. All right, next, talk about the problem or problems on your website. The second section of your website underneath that header could just say something like, you don't have to struggle with, and then a bunch of bullet points, sleepless nights, splitting headaches, whatever it is that your product resolves. You want to talk about those problems in section 2. And then you want to, of course, position your product as the solution to that problem or those problems. With such and such, you won't have to struggle with this anymore. We've got a section on our fictional website. It's pretty easy. Life is too short to sit in traffic, so you should get an e-bike. Traffic is no fun. Don't be held back. You were designed for more. What's the problem? Traffic and not having fun, being held back, and not reaching my potential. Wow, 4 really big problems that make the Find a Dealer button shine much brighter as a solution. So include the problems that your customer faces in the text on your website. Next, you want to get a lead generator. And this is a little bit advanced. However, I think it's the biggest key to growing your company. That is a lead generator and subsequent emails that go out to follow up on that lead generator. Talking about giving your email address in exchange for a PDF, a live stream like this one, a webinar, a mini e-course, an open house, the physical event where people actually show up. Start creating lead generators. Start small, a simple PDF called, 5 ways to prepare your cat for when you leave home on vacation. There you go. Anybody who downloads that lead generator has a cat and goes on vacation. And so we know that's a qualified audience if I sell cat food and catnip and whatever else I would sell to a cat or a person who owns a cat. I now have my leads in a email database that I can contact them. This is how you're going to grow your company, especially if it's a small business. If you don't have a lead generator, create one. All right, so you're going to advertise your lead generator, and here's what your lead generator should all be about. A lead generator should solve a problem for your customer. So you want to start solving problems for your customer because it begins to build trust, and you want to do so for free. So when you actually help me know what to do when I leave town, help me prepare my cat for the trauma of me leaving town, although I don't think cats experience trauma because they don't really know you're there. And if they were bigger, they would probably eat you. That's why we should all have dogs. Anyway, that's my personal rant. The reality is that I now know who the cat owner is, and I've given them something really special. Please don't write in, I love cats. That's just a joke. Although the studies do show if they were actually bigger, they might eat you. Anyway, the reality is cat owners love their cats and they don't want them to experience trauma when they leave home. And so now I've created a bond, a relationship, and an affinity with the cat owner, which is the exact opposite of what I did by making cat jokes. But you're going to create that affinity and that connection with the audience. And now they're going to trust you to buy cat food and various other things for cats, jingle bell things and things that look like mice. Okay, next, make it valuable enough to get an email address. So an email address really psychologically is probably worth about $20. I mean, I would part with my email address about as willingly as I would part with 10 or 20 bucks. So that's got to be some value. It can't just be our newsletter. Here's why I don't like our newsletter. Our newsletter offers zero value. Now, there may be value inside the newsletter. There may be extreme value inside the newsletter. However, calling it our newsletter doesn't explain to me what value that actually is. If you say how to prepare your cat for your upcoming vacation, or to leave your cat at home, that offers value because we're going on vacation and I'm worried about my cat. So I'm going to part with $20 so I don't have to deal with the guilt of leaving my cat. So you want that value to be very obvious in the title. People don't want your newsletter. What they want is a lead generator. Okay. Next thing you want to do, you actually want to create an ad space on your website that promotes that lead generator and also a pop-up ad. Now, I know you don't like pop-ups. They're really annoying. People complain about them, but here's the truth. They work. You almost double, if not double, the number of emails you get when there is a pop-up and an ad on the website. So as I'm scrolling through your website, we got the great header, we got the problem section, we got the plan and other things. Get JJ and I's book, Marketing Made Simple. It explains how to make a really great website. Marketing Made Simple. Go to Amazon, pick that book up, and it's going to explain to you how to make a website, lead generator, emails, all that kind of stuff. But that pop-up ad, if you make it, two things to make it less annoying. You don't want it coming up as soon as somebody gets to the website or even 15 seconds after. What you want is an exit intent pop-up. So the technology now allows us, whenever you roll that mouse over to leave that page, a pop-up comes up. And it's like, okay, I was about to leave the page, but I think I do want this lead generator. And they give up their email address in exchange for that email, that lead generator. All right, let's look at the one that we used fictionally for our Circuit e-bikes promotion. Download our free PDF and start down the road to saving money. 10 ways an e-bike will make and save you money. Now, if anybody buys or gives me $20 or their email address for that PDF, this is a hot lead. This is a qualified lead that is thinking of buying an ebook. And then what we want to do is follow up with emails, e-bike, not ebook, follow up with emails for the next, gosh, with an item like this. I mean, I think these e-bikes are like $3,000 or more. Like, they get really expensive. That's not an impulse buy. So I want to be in their email box maybe for the next at least 6 weeks, if not 12 or 24 weeks, because we want to still be around and top of mind whenever they finally say, I'm going to do it. They will forget you. It will bounce off your website and they will forget your website within minutes. So you continuing to email them for weeks and weeks brands them in their mind as a person who has a solution to my problem of wanting an e-bike or wanting a new way to commute. All right, step 4, include a 3-step plan. I like this as the third section of your website. This is just the 3 things that you would need to do in order to buy my product or use my product as a solution. The 3 steps aren't actually all that important. What is important, though, is that you have 3 steps. What your customer is feeling is probably a little bit of cognitive dissonance. They're going to your website, they're seeing that you have a solution to their problem, but they're kind of going, well, I don't know how this works. An at-home chef, are you going to move in with us? What are you going to do about my kids' food allergies? It's probably really expensive. I don't know how much it is, and so forth and so on. So when our chef actually says, hey, if you ever want to work with me, I work in 3 phases. I come to your house and do an intake session. That's free. I just sit and ask for about 30 minutes. What are your food allergies? What do you like? What are your favorite restaurants? What do the kids want to eat? What time do you want to eat? Those sorts of things. How do you like leftovers to be stored in your fridge? Do you even want leftovers? We just answer a lot of questions that intake session. Step 2 was I actually come to your house and I cook dinner. It's a $150 fee, but I cook dinner for you and your family, and there's enough leftovers for at least 2 more meals, lunch the next day, and maybe some snacks and stuff like that. I set you up with about 2 to 3 meals for $150. Then if we like working together and we seem like there's a good fit, it seems like there's a good fit, we take step 3, which is a retainer, in which I come to your house either 1, 2, possibly even 3 nights a week to cook, even once a month, twice a month. I just fit into your schedule. So at least you're getting some time with your family. When the chef gave us those 3 steps, what the chef did was lifted the fog and the cognitive dissonance about how we're going to work together, what life looks like, how much trouble this is going to be for me, how much you're going to invade my space. All of those questions and concerns that I had were subconscious. Your customer does not know how to communicate their subconscious concerns. They just feel a little bit of tension and confusion. So what they say to you in the midst of that confusion is, this sounds really great. Can I get back to you next week? Or can I get back to you on this? You and I know exactly what that means. That means they're not going to make the sale. They're not going to make the purchase. Now, we think they're trying to get out of it and trying to avoid the conflict of the moment and trying not to reject you in the moment. I'm 100% convinced that's actually not what most customers are doing. What they're actually doing is saying, I really like this product. I want this product. This product feels nice to me. However, I'm not sure how all of this is going to work. I don't know the pros and cons, and I don't know what my future looks like. I don't know how big this commitment actually is. When that becomes clear to me, I will call you and make the purchase. How do you make it clear? A 3-step plan. Just break it down and make it simple. On your website, visually, it will actually look really simple to do business with you. So as it relates to a 3-step plan, what you want to do is understand your customers will not move into mystery. They won't place an order without clear steps. Include 3. I'll give you 4 if you want 4 steps. You can't have 5. All studies show that 3 works best, 4 works almost as well, and 5 doesn't work. Why? Because 5 doesn't make it look easy. It makes it look difficult. You also want to give your plan a name if it's possible. The easy to buy a car plan, or our plan to make it, whatever. You want to give that plan an actual name. All right, let's look at an example on our Circuit e-bikes website. All right, how it works. You want to get fitted, choose a bike, and lead the pack. Now, buying an e-bike is like a complicated thing, right? And there's so much cognitive dissonance, but when I visually see this plan, I just need to get fitted, then choose my bike and lead the pack. This makes it look really easy, and it removes some of the barrier for me coming into the store and buying this e-bike. So include a plan on your website. Next, make it super easy to place an order. Stop making it hard for people to give you money. How do you do that? Well, make your calls to action clear and strong. Include cash registers everywhere. Use the same language. If you can, use the same color in your design. Make sure the obvious top right button is the shopping cart, is the cash register, is the call to action. Next, repeat them everywhere. As you go down the page, repeat them everywhere that you possibly can. Look, we've got find a dealer on top right, find a dealer in the middle. I'd probably go back and change that design so they're both yellow. And then repeat that as you go down the page. That is how you place cash registers on websites to make you money. Okay, you have just spent 31 minutes listening to a short presentation about the 5 things you should include on your website. You pay $275 for this platform. You get this plus 11 other of these, plus all the stuff in our on-demand course. I would hope that you just got a massive return on your investment, but you will only get a return on investment if you actually take action. If you make the header cleaner, I would do that first. It's the first thing you should do. In fact, you should probably take step 1, 3, 4, and 5 first, and then come back and create a lead generator, because that's going to take you a little bit of time. So clean up your header. What do you offer? How will it make my life better? What do I need to do to buy it? You want to include a plan. You want to include really strong calls to action. You want to talk about the problems your customer faces. If you just do that on your website, I'm going to look at some of your websites here in a second and help you figure out how to do that. But if you just do that on your website, you're going to see dramatic results. Then if you really want to grow your business, create a lead generator and subsequent follow-up emails. Listen, if you want to say, Don, I love what you're saying, but I need more than help on my emails. I need help on my messaging. I need to know exactly what to say in terms of talking about my customer's problem. I want to know what to say in my header. I want to know what sort of lead generator to create. I want to know what kind of emails I need to send. I need the words. You just gave me the structure. Don, I need the words. Well, we have something for you. It is our upcoming live workshop, the Story Brand Marketing Workshop, where Dr. JJ Peterson, Alea, and I actually present a 2-day workshop where we revolutionize your marketing and give you a fantastic marketing plan that you can execute for your small business. You will leave with a clear message. You'll know what to say, and a marketing plan that you can take to any graphic artist, any designer, and they can create it for you. This is going to take months and months of work away from them, so it's going to be less expensive to do that. You also get a coach in the live stream. You're in a Zoom group with about 10 other business owners, and you have a coach in the room who's constantly giving you feedback on your messaging. If that sounds good to you, make sure you register at storybrand.com for our upcoming live stream. Plus, only you get a discount if you actually use the code May22 Live 100. You get $100 off. It's normally $9.95. You get it for $8.95. And we have a VIP package. This includes smaller breakout rooms, about 5 instead of 10 of you, more time with your coach, and a video website review, which a coach actually looks at your website and sends you a video telling you everything that they think you need to change. It's enormous value for $1,395. Just imagine the return that you'll get when you actually sharpen up your marketing collateral. So you register at storybrand.com. Make sure you register today. Now, let's get to some website reviews. Okay, I've got a laptop open in front of me. I am very much like a caveman in many ways, and so we will actually do the grunt test right here. All right, our first website is healthytrailsliving.com, and there's already some things that I really like about this website. It's very clean. There's a lot of white space. We've got some great photography here, and so forth. I've got a chat button. Chat with Sean. Sean, I hope that I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I'm supposing that's your name. However, in the chat here, I would ask a more specific question. What is bothering you about the way you currently feel in terms of health? That's a much better question that stimulates rather than chat with, and how can we help you? This is a statement. This is elusive. So if we make this, what's currently bothering you about your gut health? We're going to get a much better result. More people are going to chat with us. Okay, health coaching. I'm guessing that you have some sort of monthly fee in which I interact with you and you help me with my health. If that's true, then you're doing really great. A couple things that we see that are already missing: contact me blog, my go-to supplements, detox program, so forth and so on. If you actually have book a introductory coaching session right here, you're going to get more business. We want that low-hanging fruit initial product right here with a big button that's repeated down the stage. So you can already see, folks, there's no cash register. We have a store that offers coaching, I would imagine, around gut health, and yet no cash register. There's no way for me to give you money. You're going to make a lot more money when you actually give me a chance to give you money. Okay, so health coaching is also pretty elusive. Meet monthly with a health coach that can dramatically improve the way you feel. That's not elusive. Now you've told me how you make my life better. Health coaching assumes that I know the benefit health coaching will give me. Now, you do have a healthy gut means a healthy life, but I still like meet once a month with a health coach who can make you feel much, much better. Then right here, have you been struggling to eat healthy and are unable to find meals that suit your lifestyle or that your family will even like? Good problem here. I like this. Do you get fed up with counting calories? Good job. You've had enough of quick fixes, restrictions, and you're ready for habits that work. Good identification of 3 problems. Now, what this does, and what she's doing well here and what she's doing right, is this is increasing the value of this. So if we make this a little bit more clear, we'll be much more likely to buy it. And then that intake session button right here is going to dramatically increase the number of people who enter into this business. I want better gut health. I think this is just a little bit too elusive. I think this should be a repeating of hire a coach for an intake session. Live a healthy lifestyle you have dreamed of. I help you reduce inflammation in the gut through healthy and simple lifestyle additions that help the gut to heal for better gut health. Wonderful pictures. This is just a hard sentence to understand, right? A little bit of inside language in here. What's making you sleepy, irritable, and so on is probably inflammation. Inflammation, I help you reduce inflammation by teaching you how to cook and eat delicious foods. Let's just make it really street language and really understandable. That's one of the things that, I mean this as a compliment. The smarter you are, the harder it is to translate it into simple language. So please don't be like, Don's, I'm basically saying you're very smart and it's very difficult to translate it to people who don't have your expertise, but we want to do that. Okay, so beautiful pictures, wonderful job, good little icons here. It is difficult to eat healthy, the balanced diet struggle, not sticking to the plan, other benefits. This is like, do you find it difficult to eat healthy? Question mark. The balanced diet struggle doesn't mean anything. This is some sort of inside language. Not sticking to it. Do you have trouble sticking to your diet plan? And then other benefits feels like a side thing. So this just feels a little convoluted to me. I think you got a chance to, maybe even because you spelled it out so well here, go ahead and make this your 1, 2, 3 plan. Experience an easy and fun intake session in which I help you understand exactly what's causing your problem. Step 2, if you like, enter into monthly or weekly coaching. Step 3, experience have more energy, more optimism, and experience a better life. You can see how this just said 1, 2, 3 with those 3 steps. And again, that intake session button right here, we're dramatically increasing sales. Hi, Chandra. Good to see you. I'm a certified health coach who specializes in gut health and inflammation reducing techniques for the long-term management of weight and autoimmune diseases. I know the power of real foods in our bodies. This is a chance actually, Chandra, for you to do something I say to almost never do, and that is tell your story. However, I want you to tell your story in much more simple language. I want you to say something like, I got started helping clients because I once struggled with gut health, or because my mom struggled with it, or because my good friends struggled with it. And I got tired of seeing people suffer. I love helping people understand how great tasting, healthy food can make them feel better. I would love to help you understand too. There you go. Now you're saying that I understand your pain and I know what it takes to get you out of it. My story is interesting, except my story isn't a very good name of a story. What's a better name of a story is why I care so much, my personal story, why I care so much about people feeling healthy. Now you've given me a reason to click my story because my story is not very interesting. For instance, like if I said to you, would you like to hear my story? You're probably going to feel obligated to say yes. But if I said to you, would you like to hear my story about how I was once saved from a shark by a group of dolphins, which never happened to me, by the way. But you're like, yeah, I think I want to hear that story. So the more specific and the more of a story hook there is, the more likely they are to want to actually listen to and read your story. All right, next, free download. Nope. Let's actually give I would say, a 30-minute meal planning webinar just for you, and then free download underneath it. Free download is not the name. That's like calling a movie a movie. Do you want to go see the new movie called A Movie? No, you want to go see the new movie called, whatever the movie's call is. What my clients are saying, one thing you could do here is just put one word, or a phrase. Loved it. She made it easy. Can't believe the results. And that's going to make me much more likely to click these play buttons. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, you got a lot of good stuff going on. Hopefully those improvements will help you. Sounds like you're doing amazing work. And gosh, I just wish you the best. All right. Let's get to some yoga.
All right. I'm going to stop it there. Because I thought it could be valuable for us to have a discussion about what Dom was talking about rather than going into the next website and the next website and the next. You had a couple lined up there, did you see? So feel free to switch your camera on if you would like to share. I'm interested to know if anyone had their website open on a separate tab, and we're looking at what he was talking about when it came to laying out the website, and then looking at what their website, looking at what your website looked like. How'd you go? Anyone willing to share? Janelle, you're the only person with your camera on, so you're making eye contact. I'm going to have to call on you. Hang on a second. It says you're not muted, but I can't hear you. Unmute on your phone. Let's see if that works. There we go. Go for it.
Yeah, I had a look at my I was looking at my website on the other screen while we were listening to that gentleman. Yeah.
And what did you find? Did you have a clear header to start with?
Yeah, I have actually, because I just had the website updated, so I'm pretty happy with it. But
so you're going, yes, gold
so
star.
I was going, well, that's good. I've paid a lot of money for that. It's good. So yeah, no, it's good. So, but I think there's always things you can improve. So there are still things I think we can improve. So I got a lot out of it. It was good.
That's awesome. How about when it comes to capturing people's email addresses, capturing people's details? Have you got a download or something that people can go to when it comes to your website?
Not really, but they can book online. So when they book, because we're accommodation, so when they book online, we get their email address. So
yeah. Have you got a couple of different checkouts?
Yeah, I think so. Well, it says just on one page I'm looking at, the right-hand corner at the top has book online, and then under each room it has book now. So it's sort of like it's reminding them to do something, a bit like what he was saying, the cash register. But I just think where we've got the other book now signs, it needs to be bolder, like he was saying with that lady who he would have liked to have put the little icons in the same colour. And yeah.
I thought that was interesting, because in my head, you know, even if I look at my website, I think one's in red and one's in yellow and one's in blue, and depending on like how fancy I want it to be at the time.
Yeah.
That was important to him, the color, and the color being the same.
Yeah.
Through it. So I'm going to be having a look at my own website after hearing that and making a few changes, I think. How about you, Barb? Did you have a look at your website at the same time?
Yes, I did, if you can hear me okay. And I think I'll have to start it all over again.
Well, I'm sure there's some things there that currently work, but what was your biggest takeaway?
Cash register, not being afraid to put that information up front, and explaining, because I've just got it on the screen, explaining how I can solve their problems. I know how I can solve their problems, but I need to break it down into simpler language, because a computer person, I tend to maybe overcomplicate it, and I need to make it more simple for those people to understand. And then I've been taking all those notes and going, right, step 1, step 2, step 3. And that's true when I'm training. People can only absorb so much information at one time.
Exactly. And you've got to think about your target market as well. When it comes to, you know, they're looking for something simple already, Barb. So even if your website is going to become complicated, then you're automatically going to turn them off, thinking that you can help them with something simple if they can't even navigate the website. So even more so than any of the rest of us, you need to really kind of scale it back, and step 1, step 2, step 3.
That's right. And then also the area for capturing their information. I've just been working on MailChimp and then sending out information, but same with this, download, here's a great PDF on how to do such and such. I've got a lot of protocols of making life easy over the 25 years of crying in front of a computer.
That's right. And for you and for your target market, the clearer and the simpler that you can make it, the more likely people are to purchase from you. And if you can get that right, if you can find that sweet spot, then you're going to be looked after. But the thing is as well, yes, MailChimp is great and collecting everybody's email addresses and having that free downloadable, but you really have to think, and Donald didn't, touch on this, but you really have to think about what the next step is, because yes, you can get their email addresses, but if you get their email addresses and then that's it, that you kind of just sit on them, then it's a waste of all the effort you put in and all the money that you spend, because websites are expensive, right? It's not easy just to kind of jump in and change things, but you're going to waste all of that money that you've put aside because you didn't capitalize. So you really want to be able to nurture those customers that you have on your email list, whether that's, sending them a blog post once a week, or sending them a newsletter once a month, or just touching base with them at whatever part of the customer journey they're up to, and, touching base with them and coming back and saying, yes, I know you purchased from me for a year ago, and I want to know how it's going. How's that working out for you? You may have mastered Excel, but now would you like help with PowerPoint, or, whatever the next step in the journey is, and thinking about that nurturing as well. So important.
Yes. Thanks, Stacey.
We get so excited about the leads, right? We get the free downloadable or whatever it is that we're selling, and we go, we've got this many people on our mailing list. And what are we going to do with them? And so many people just forget about that part, and it's so important. Natalia's jumped in the chat because she has a baby asleep on her. Oh, cute. I miss those days. I kind of miss those days, and then I really don't miss those days, all in the same breath. I think we're now understanding that we'll need to communicate more to mums, wives who make decisions in their household regarding reno. So Natalia's in building. So thinking about her target market being the people who are making decisions in the family. And yes, if you've read Marketing to Mums, or if you haven't, Katrina McCarter's book, Marketing to Mums, is all about, yes, mums are making the big decisions in the family home. They're the ones that are doing the research. They're the ones that are going to, be pitching to the husband that, yes, we do need the butler's pantry, and yes, we do need the wardrobe with the shoe rack, the lazy shoes in that spins around with all of the shoes. So it is important that you are targeting those customers that are coming in and making it easy for them, because, if anything, mums are busy. So we know that very well. So you want to make sure you make that as simple as possible, like book a call today, or come in for a 15-minute discussion about your dream home, or here's the 10 things that you can't forget when you're renovating your home, things like that, and make them easy and accessible on your website so that they can jump straight in. And that 1, 2, 3 step for busy mums who are looking at scrolling on your website when they're on their phone, when they're feeding at 3 a.m. You want to make it super, super easy. Not speaking from experience or anything. Best decisions I made were at 3 a.m. in the morning back in those days. Well, I hope that you got a lot out of Mr. Donald Miller. Whilst he's always sharing, the StoryBrand framework rarely changes, but the different ways and different areas that you can take it into your business is always really interesting to me. And thinking about it from a website perspective is interesting again. If you want me to have a look at your website and to give you a review, then just simply book a Simply You and I coaching session with me. And as a bonus, I'll jump on in before we have a chat and review your website for free, so that I can come to our session armed with lots of homework for you to go away and do, and things that you can tweak that will hopefully increase your sales and make sure that your sales, go 10x, or what did Donald say, 100x or 1000x? He really wanted our websites to improve and bring more leads and sales through our door. Donald was talking about, remember how he kept referring to you've paid $275? That is because this call, if you are not friends with the StoryBrand and Business Made Simple coach like me, if you were to attend that session, it would be part of your BMS membership, of which you pay $275. $75 US. But I can hook you up with one of those memberships if you want to get access to not just this call to watch it again, but all of the calls that the live coaching calls that happen as part of BMS, as well as the hours and hours and hours of content that can help you grow your business. That's Business Made Simple. You can get it for $317. Just let me know. I can absolutely hook you up, or you can jump in and buy it straight away on my website. That's simplystacymorgan.com. And if you want to work with me for, longer than just a website review, then for the next 48 hours, you can buy 2 sessions with me and get 1 free, which means we can have 3 sessions together. We can space them out between now and the end of the year, or we can, have them in quick succession, back to back, maybe 1 a week, and then you can get stuck in and make some big changes in your business in order to bring in more sales and more revenue. If you want to take advantage of this offer, there's no special button that you can click. Donald Miller would not be impressed with me. Instead, send me an email or a DM on Instagram, and I will be able to hook you up with that offer. And that's all I have to say for you tonight. Absolutely go out there and just get stuck straight into it. You've got the changes, you've got the notes in front of you. Do you have your list of things on the left side and things on the right side? So the left side was the things that are your products, the things that you sell, your services. And on the right side were the things that were your problems. He said, don't talk about the left side without talking about the right side. So have a look at your website and make sure that it does that. Have a look at your sales copy that you're sending out to your clients as well when you want them to sign on with you. If you have prospectuses, if you have documents that go out to them to get them to sign on the dotted line, make sure that you're talking about the problem as well. And if you want to go through this in detail with me, always absolutely reach out. Natalia, I will be in touch with you because I can see you laughing at my 3 a.m. joke in the chat and also reaching out. So I'll reach out to you after the call, but please get in touch with me. That's my email address, hello@simplystacymorgan.com. My website is simplystacymorgan.com, or you can follow me on Instagram at simplystacymorgan. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Go enjoy and have a nice night's sleep and let all of that information simmer. Look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thanks so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.